Ji Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, and we are going to proceed with today's class. Today we are going to start the speaking module of the IELTS exam, and the speaking module of IELTS exam in your exam will be of 15 minutes. This will be about 15 minutes. Why I did use the word 15 minutes? Because it may range from 11 to 15 minutes in total. So the speaking exam of IELTS, this may vary in its timing. It can be between 11 to 15 minutes in total. And these 11 to 15 minutes will actually be for three tasks which students have to perform in their exam. The task number one. So total three tasks will be there. Total three tasks will be there in your exams for the students to be done. And these three tasks which students will do in these 11 to 15 minutes. The task number one and the second one will be known as task number two. And the third one would be known as task number three. And in this way, students will be working in exam and it will be the sequence for them. So now the first thing that is what known as task number one. This task number one is known as examiners, questions, examiners, questions and answer session. So examiners, questions and answers, examiner questions and answers session. So now, in this specific examiner question and answer session, the first question normally relates to your name. Examiner asks you about who you are, what is your name, and this will be the first question, and it is a patent question in every specific speaking exam. Second question is normally relating to your ID. Examiner may ask you, can I see your ID or can you repeat your ID for me? And then the ID that you will get in the examination room before entering into the room, there will be a sort of a chit. That chit will contain your ID number, and then you will be just working on the ID number, and you may tell him, yes, sir, I can tell you my ID and my ID. For an example, 458523 is my ID number. So it will be the second question, and it normally remains in the same sequence. The third question will be regarding your study and will be regarding your study or the work. Are you a student or you are a working person? And this will be regarding your study or the work. If this will be regarding to the study, the common questions examiner asks you is about the field in which you got educated. Number two, if it is about your study, it may be about your school or it may be about your college. And then if examiner is going to ask us some more questions, it may relate to your favorite subject in this specific field. Examiner may ask you about your favorite teacher, and this is a very common question. Examiner does ask that question. Your favorite teacher, your mode of traveling towards your school or college. So this may entail. And one more question, which is very common, and that common question is, choose? Why did you choose this field? And then one last question examiner sometimes asks about is the prospects, future prospects of your field of interest. So field of interest. So these are some common questions examiner may ask about when you talk about the study. But if you're talking about the work, if we talk about the work or the working person, the common questions for the students who belong to GT, General Training, they will be coming across to this question. And the first question examiner may ask about is the field in which you are working, field of study, and field of work. And number two, examiner may ask us, why did you choose this field? And then Number three, the third question may be the prospects and your ambition about why you have come into this profession, your prospect of this field and your ambition, what you want to be after a certain period of time, and what is the favorite work that can be of yours at work. This can be another common question. And another very common question that examiner generally asks for that question, and that specific question be about how long would you like to stay in this profession? So these are certain common questions which relate to your work or your study when you talk about IELTS speaking task number one, and it is the task number one. The common or the normal time for this task one in examination room is from 4 to 5 minutes, but I'm going to write 5 to 6 minutes is the common time or is the journal time that examiner takes, and 5 to 6 minutes task will be or the section this will be, and it is known as task number one, examiner question and answer session. I'm going to mark this section as read because when in the evening you will be getting the recording of the lecture, or when you will be getting the this descriptive form of the lecture, this file will be going to you in the evening. So this specific red color will be giving you a bifurcation of, or will help you out to bifurcate or in bifurcating the section number one. Second one is section number two, and section number two is quite a bit more interesting. It is more interesting. It is known as task card or a cue card speaking. The task card or cue card speaking. What is task card or a cue card speaking? Examiner gives us, examiner provides a specific card that contains a topic sentence. For an example, describe your last visit to your village. For an example, technology have really changed the real life. What do you say about it? So, for examiner provides a specific topic or a specific card, and that contains a topic sentence, and then beneath this sentence, below this sentence, commonly there are four questions given. Four questions given. So these four questions are normally the pathway that how you need to speak. These four questions below this topic sentence may be, for an example, if the topic is about the village, describe your last experience or the last trip to your village. This will be carrying four questions with say, when you visited, what you did over there, what did you do over there, when you have planned to visit again, and what do you think about your trip? Memories. So in this way, examiner normally gives us what? Examiner normally gives us a topic on a piece of card or a note sheet, and this card contains a topic sentence, and then there are normally four questions given beneath this topic, and these are what should you say? Say when you visited, and number two, number three, and number four, any specific thing that will be connected and related with the topic above. So now this specific cue card speak topic is of about 3 to 5 minutes. This takes 3 to 5 minutes. How? Almost, almost this specific the cue cards topic normally requires us to speak for 2 minutes. Speaking requirement is 2 minutes, and then there is a prep time. 1 minute is a prep time. So in this way, we prepare for 1 minute and then we speak for 2 minutes. So normally it lasts at 4 minutes to 5 minutes. It takes normally because assigns the topic and then gives us 1 minute. In that 1 minute, students can make students can make students can make notes on the piece of paper. Students can make notes on the piece of paper. Students can write about the topic. They can make their notes, and while speaking, they can carry their notes in their hands. They can carry their cue card in their hand like this. They can carry the piece of paper on which they have made the notes. They can carry that paper in their hand. Even they can see that paper during the exam. Even they can see it again and again, but we should try to maintain a good eye contact with the examiner as well. So 1 minute is the prep time, and then there is 2 minutes speech. And normally a card is given to the students, and that card contains what? That card contains a a topic with 4 sub-questions, and which normally relate to the topic as well. And these sub 4 questions are normally the pushers. Use them as a push. For an example, every specific question give you a guideline what you need to speak next, what you need to speak next. If we divide every specific line of sub questions into 25 to 30 seconds, we can very easily manage to cross 3 minutes time despite of 2 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to make this thing red so that this should be a sort of bit different for you people, and it will be easy for you to recall it. So then we enter into task number 3, and this task number 3 of IELTS speaking exam is again examiners questions and answers section. Examiner questions and answers section. It is once again. So what happens in this section? Examiner asks students some questions relating to their speaking on the task card. What you spoke in section number 2 means the task number 2. Examiner develop the questions from that speech, and then he asks you, or he may ask you some question relating to your cue card speech. So in this way, these are known as follow-up questions. Follow-up questions means the question examiner is going to ask us. Follow-up questions examiner is going to ask us after once we are done with the speaking of the cue card. But nowadays, what is being observed in majority, examiner does not ask the question relating to cue card. He normally asks he normally asks questions which are other than the cue card speech, like what happens in your task number 1. So if I go back on task number 1, here I want to add a thing. Examiner normally asks about the name and the ID, and it is work or the study. And then there is another question, and that is known as one general question. One general question examiner may ask. One general question. One general question is also asked by the examiner, and that general question may relate to your home. This may relate to your hometown. This may relate to your home, your hometown. This may relate to your study. This may relate to your old time memories, which are the common topics being asked by the examiner nowadays. Memories. This may belong to some of your experiences, maybe regarding technology. This may be regarding your shopping habits, and any topic that can be given. If you check my book, every topic is given, and in exam, one out of those topics will be there for you. Okay, so now it is shopping habits. Such topics are normally asked by the examiner, and these all topics are not for the straight speaking. Examiner by himself asks questions and you answer. It is a sort of interview type of section, task one. So if I write again, examiner question answer section, and in bracket, I may write if it is a sort of interview that you need to sit on, I would not be wrong. Okay. So now come on task three once again. And task three, normally examiner's question answer section, and it takes about 2 to 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes, normally taken by 3 minutes, are normally taken by the examiner. And in these 2 to 3 minutes, examiner, I am saying the SOP says that standard operating procedure, I mean, says that examiner should ask questions relating to your cue card, but examiner nowadays is not asking questions relating to your cue card follow-ups, but actually he asks the questions which are other than the cue card. So it is what the section and the time and the task bifurcation for your overall IELTS speaking exam. And this will be a exam which will last up upon 11 to 15 minutes in total, with 3 tasks to be performed by you students. Number one, the interview section. Number two, the cue card section. And number three is the follow-up question section. If there is any question, I would be very happy to answer that. And the next lecture will be relating to, the next lecture means today, the next lecture of the same session. The next session, rather, of today's lecture will be relating to the skills required for, or the tips which are required for your overall speaking exams effective pending.